Hi everyone. On the 27th of July to the 10th of August 2013, I competed in the 100th British Chess Championships in Torquay, Devon, England. And it was a very good holiday with plenty of interesting chess played, and 23 games I've got to show you, and this is the first of them, and some good laughs and banter and all that. And it was a brilliant time. Next, the rapid play, which was played on the 28th of July. I'd got down on the 27th with a nice smooth car ride with not much traffic on the M5. So here we go, and my first game was against Terry Brown, which is interesting because I had met him in real life for the first time the previous night, and I happened to get him in round one of the rapid. And I was meant to actually be playing a 2070 something, but he was late, so I got out of it and got repaired. This is the first of two rapid plays at the British, both being on the Sundays. So this was before any of the other events started. This is sort of to kick it off. The time control is 20 minutes with an additional 10 seconds added to the clock after every move. And it's just 6 rounds as usual, and this is my first ever FIDE rated rapid. Well, Manchester was as well, but I never actually got any opponents with FIDE, so it doesn't really count. And my opponent's FIDE was about just over 1500, but he is the Gatwick under 150 champion, so I was not taking him lightly. And I'd actually played him a game the previous night where I beat him quite comfortably with e5 against e4. Or if we're using the accent we used on this tournament, it would be e5. So let's go. He played 1 e4. I played e5, knight f3, knight c6. I decided not to play the Scotch Gambit again to avoid the catastrophe on f2 very early on, and playing instead knight c3. I was thinking of playing the French actually, which is my main weapon, but the reason I don't play the French all the time is because I like to avoid prep, because you get all these saddles prepping these days. And you can't. It's gone in the days where you can just turn up and play a game of chess. You always get this stupid computer prep. But also, I didn't know what he played against the French, and he might play the French exchange, and I actually usually lose to that because I try too hard to win. Because as we know, it's very drawish. And so he tried this boring line, but after knight f6, he played bishop c4, which is already an inaccuracy, because now comes the standard equalizing continuation with knight takes c4, which is called the fork trick, where I remove white's central pawn safely. And well, white usually takes it. Some patzers play bishop takes f7 check in this position, which looks pretty good, that, because we're stopping black from castling, because we're going to lose the piece back anyway, so we might as well stop black from castling. But the problem is it's not very good, because after this and something like this is just very good for black. Black's going to artificially castle with moving the bishop out, rook e8, king g8, and black's going to steamroll white with 2 central pawns. Another choice is to play after knight takes c4, I played d5. Another choice, he played bishop takes d5, but another alternative, which is probably better, is to play bishop d3. After we take, we can maybe play something like, I think knight b4 is the equalizer in this position. And it gets very interesting with a3, and then we play fi, and so like bishop takes b7, bishop takes, a takes, and then e4 with very good compensation for the pawn. But he played bishop takes, played queen takes, and then he brought his knight back to c3, and I decided the best square was to put it back to d8, because it's a bit exposed in the other squares. He castled, bishop came to d6, knight e4. I decided I didn't mind losing that bishop for a knight, and played castles, d3, and then bishop g4, which had some cheapos with knight d4, so we played h3, and I came back and he played c3 to stop any knight d4 cheapos. I played h6 to stop his pieces coming into g5 and harassing my queen, bishop e3, developing a piece and trying to get the c5 square. Queen e7, protecting the c5 square, playing f5 with maybe dangerous attacking chances. Now knight dd2, a very passive move. I played king h8 because if I play f5 immediately, this he has this very annoying move winning the pawn. And although I get some compensation, I decided I'll just play next move anyway. So king h8, rook e1, and now I played f5, which I thought was friendly to trap the bishop with f4, but I was actually missed the tactic. And actually, I missed an interesting chance in this position with knight takes e5, which looks completely ridiculous. But if I take his queen, I get forked. I do on g6, and also another problem is my bishop's on prise. So say if I play bishop takes queen, he plays knight g6 check, and white actually ends a pawn up, which is not good. If I play the best move, obviously queen takes e5, then he takes my bishop, and I get a check. King f1, and then knight e5. And then what white does now actually is sacks the bishop on e6. Very sharp stuff this. And after g takes e6, queen takes e6, king g8, d4, results in a very sharp and unclear position, but it actually ends in a draw by perpetual, with the queen going to check on g6 and a6. So that's a good way to force a draw. He played queen c2, which is a blunder. Now I play f4. And now this is an interesting bit, although it's a very strong move, trapping the bishop. I actually had an oversight, because I saw that there's some pins on my queen, so I thought that he can't play bishop takes f4, so I take with the rook instead. But he just plays bishop d4, which I completely missed. However, Re1 is given an evaluation of over +2 pawns. Re1 say cheapo. I play queen f6, which is good, it unpins, but it's not actually the strongest. Even stronger still, actually, is to actually take the knight and f. In fact, queen f6 now is the strongest move actually, but another strong move is bishop takes f3. And after knight takes f3, we play queen f6 to avoid any knight e4 harassments. And actually, the bishop is just trapped. I played queen f6, which allows knight e4. But then I put my queen under a completely wrong square. Should have gone queen e6, because I just thought he plays knight c5. But actually then I played queen f5, and once again white still has the same problems. His bishop is trapped. So I'm at f7, and now this is bishop c5. But I thought I've got bishop takes f3, g takes f3, bishop takes c5, knight takes c5, and then queen h5. But I overestimated this. It's actually not as strong. So after king h2, queen takes f3. White actually can get some counter play in this position. I'm threatening the rook swing via f5 to h5, but he could have just took his pawn back on b7, which I expected. And then if I try swinging the rook in, he can play queen e2 and to stop it all. It's about equal. So instead of swinging the rook in, I should probably play queen d5, a nice strong centralizing move, and putting pressure on d3. And white's knight is actually looking very trapped, so he probably has to sack it with queen b3. And after queen takes d3, rook a d1, queen f5, and queen c4 with some compensation for the pawn. Instead he played knight d7, which is a dreadful blunder because I play rook f5. And the difference now is if he tries to defend with queen e2, I have queen d5 trapping the knight. So he played rook h1 instead, which now Re1 given an evaluation of over +17. Rook h5 threatening mate, and the only way to stop mating too is to play king back to g1. And now I just played a very obvious move. I just missed a complete win on the spot with rook g5 check, because if king h2, that's mating 1, and if king f1, then white loses both his rooks. So I don't know how I missed that. He's played rook takes h3 instantly, which is a bit stupid because you get increment in that, and I still do it 10 minutes. And that's still easily winning. You play Queen E2, trying to get the Queen to defense, but of course his knight's hanging on D7, so I just played F3 and took it off. Now I piece 2 pawns up, so not a bad way to lose my British virginity. Rook E1, because this is my first ever Britishness. I played check, King H2, and then Queen H4 strongest, but I decided to try and bring the other rook in to try and mate him on H5. But he stops that, and I played the pointless check, and then realised my mistake and played Rook F4 when Rook F6 is a complete win on the spot. But I was playing too fast. But now, of course, it still is a winning. After I checked here, he resigned because I'm going to play Queen G2 check next and take an F2 with check, or swap the queens off, and I'm a piece and 2 pawns up. So it turned into a bit of mauling in the end, but this isn't the last battle versus Terry in this tournament. But it was interesting at the start, and I hope you enjoyed it. And it was nice to start the British with a win. And please leave any comments and thoughts. Thanks very much.